It was about 2.5 years ago that I came across this video. I'll insert it somewhere around here, in which I was ready to argue this man down. This video completely destroys Infinity War, and I was ready to argue that man down. Like, no, that was one of the best movies ever. You don't know what the F you're talking about. I get about halfway through that video, and I made this comment. I made that comment because when I'm wrong, okay? I don't have any problem with admitting when I'm wrong. And actually, I think it is a really good thing to admit when you are wrong. So it shows other people that you're not gonna be set ablaze if you admit that you're wrong when you're wrong. So with that being said, I was wrong about the Batman. I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. Usually in these types of videos, creators will go over all of the things that they liked about the movie, and then they'll go over the things that they maybe didn't like. I'm gonna go over the things I didn't like first, because I'm a contrarian. For The Dark Knight, the promo for that movie lasted like a little over a year. It was absolutely amazing. They had people, you guys may not even remember this because the movie came out way back in 2007, 2008. A lot of you guys may not remember this. If you weren't into the movies or into the comic book stuff, you probably, it may have just went over your head. A lot of you guys probably weren't even born. I know. I really hope that there aren't a bunch of teenagers watching my channel. Please don't. Get off this channel. It's not for you. It's not for you. There were so many interactive things to help promote this movie. Like, little clues hidden around places that'll take you to a website, and then there's this at one point, if you were given coordinates in different towns and different locations, and once people would take pictures of the coordinates, it created and submitted them to this website. It created this great big huge thing, and it was so brilliant. It was so good. Promo runs aren't like that anymore, and that kind of makes me sad. So I don't know. There were a handful of movies that were interactive like that, that did do interactive promos, but it wasn't very many. And when The Dark Knight came out, because it was the whole Joker thing, like, it was amazing. In one of these scavenger hunts that they sent people on, it led you to certain IMAX theaters in which, well, no, I don't know if it led you, I'm sorry, I didn't do any research. I don't know if it led you to certain IMAX theaters or it gave you tickets to certain IMAX theaters, but it was during the showing of I Am Legend, and the opener, if you will, for the movie I Am Legend was the first 6 minutes of The Dark Knight, which was the bank heist and all of that, which was just, that was, oh God, just brilliant, just masterful, masterful. So going into this movie, which I didn't want to watch, I had been putting it off for years. The Batman came out in 2022. I've been putting it off because of Robert Pattinson. I don't like Robert Pattinson. I wasn't into that whole vampire series that he did. That stuff kind of came out when I was a young adult. And when I say young adult, I mean like I had already graduated high school at that point. Like, that wasn't my thing. So I was seeing the guy everywhere, kind of like how people are getting annoyed with Pedro Pascal being like literally everywhere. Okay, I was like that with Robert Pattinson. Like, I don't want to see this guy ever again. And when I heard that he was going to be the Batman, I was infuriated. Because why? 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 We're going to go from Christian Bale to Robert. Why? When I was talking to my son about reasons why I didn't want to watch it, and he's like, "What is your deal with Robert Pattinson? Like, why do you hate him so much?" And I'm like, it's not. It's because of the actor. The actor Robert Pattinson made choices, and I know he's done interviews that said that he wished that he hadn't have done that series. Blah blah blah. Whatever. When you're an actor, you have choices that you've got to make as far as going out for certain roles. I was, not currently, but was a huge Doctor Who fan. Like, you have no idea how big of a doctor. One of my daughter's middle names is Rose, after Rose Tyler. I'm so serious. I wanted to name my third child just the Doctor. so badly. It wasn't going to happen. But Matt Smith became the new Doctor. He was going to play the youngest actor to ever play the oldest Doctor. It was a thing. And I was excited for it. I'm like, oh, well, I loved Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant was my Doctor. So, of course, let's see what this guy's into. Because I like to watch other stuff that the actor has been in so that way I can like really get into the character. The one and only thing that I've ever seen Matt Smith in before Doctor Who was a movie called Womb. I'm not going to go over that movie. You can look it up yourself. Okay. The ending of that movie was incredibly disturbing and it put me off from Matt Smith. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. Some of the storylines I wish that I could have gotten into with Doctor Who, but I couldn't because of the actor. Because you made that decision to play that very disgusting role. Christopher Nolan. And I hate having to keep mentioning The Dark Knight, but I mean, even the entire trilogy, which honestly I need to go back because like everybody always rewatches The Dark Knight. Nobody ever watches the first part or the second or the third movies. Which is kind of weird because my third child, one of his middle names is Bane. It was one of my favorite movies. I hadn't seen it in years. Anyway, I do need to go back and rewatch, but Dark Knight was one of the recent has been the most recent one that I went to go and rewatch. And I mean, just everything about that movie. There wasn't a single scene that was filler. Not one. Every single scene had a point to it. It was an integral point to the movie. Whereas the Batman runtime is damn near 3 hours, right? Somewhere close to 3 hours. And I lost count of all of the filler scenes. It seemed to me like they were trying to mirror some of Batman Begins. Because if I'm remembering correctly, there was a scene in Batman Begins where went back home. Alfred's like, I made up the master bedroom for you. He's like, this is my dad's house. Alfred's like, your dad's dead, bro. Just go to the room because it's yours. And he had it walled off or whatever. Not walled off, but like he didn't go in it. He kept it kind of as a shrine to his parents. But he goes into the room and he finds his father's stethoscope. Okay. And it may have just seemed like, oh, memories or whatever, but that stethoscope was brought up again later on in the movie. It wasn't just there for filler. In the Batman, there was a scene in which Robert Pattinson's Batman goes into the room and he's looking at, old stuff or whatever from the past, and it was just memories. That was it. That was it. There was no, it didn't get brought up later. Okay. Let's go ahead and start this. I did not like the exposition dump at the beginning. I like the show, don't tell. Okay, the exposition narration that happened at the very beginning. I don't like that. Oh, well, I'm this dark, brooding guy and I don't know what I'm doing, but I think I'm doing good. Like that type of stuff. Come on. At least with Dark Knight, I'm sorry, I keep having to go back to this, but Nolan was amazing. Bale was amazing as Batman. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna bring up Nolan's Batman several times throughout this, but in Dark Knight, like after we've already established who Bruce Wayne is and who Batman is and the whole backstory, I don't like how we don't get the backstory on this one, simply because this is such a different iteration of the Batman, right? If this was the same old, then yeah, like, no, I don't want to see how he became the Batman again. Like, come on, it's been done to death. But this is a relatively new iteration on like movie screen, like of the Batman. So I feel like we should have gotten a little bit more. He had already been the Batman for 2 years at this point. So, which, by the way, and I get it, you're still finding your footing, but I'll get to that later. It's just so much I want to say. I don't like the exposition dump. In Dark Knight Rises, it was so clear after the bank heist You know, you did have news position or whatever, but we also got to see criminals going out and about to go and do something nefarious, and then the one looks up and sees the bat signal and he said, "Nah, not tonight, man. I don't like it." And the other guy's like, "You have a better chance of winning the Powerball than running into that guy. Like, come on, what's your problem?" You know, like, so we see that there are still criminals out there that aren't scared of the Batman, and they still want to do their dirt, but you got a lot of them that are like, I don't know about this. I don't want to risk it, you know. Let me go sit on my biscuit because I ain't trying to risk it. So I liked that, the showing and not necessarily the telling, the narration. I don't like things with narration. Well, too much narration. There are okay, I'm getting off track. I'm getting off track. I didn't like the exposition dump at the beginning. Um, why was he so close to that bomb? Oh, um, spoilers. Okay, now that we got that out the way. Why was he so close to the bomb? The bomb around Homeboy's neck? Why was he so close to it? You knew it was gonna go off. Dude told you you got 3 minutes or 2 minutes to solve these three riddles. He was doing the countdown. He was like, okay, three, two, bye. And Batman was just, he was like, oh, oh, like, yeah, you gonna get blown the fuck up. The hell, why was you that close? You knew it was gonna go boom. You're not very smart, are you? It's not a very smart Batman. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. We'll get to the smart how he is smart later. The film doesn't trust us. The film does not trust us at all to get anything. I don't like how things were overly explained. What does a liar do when he is dead? What does a dead liar do? He lies still. Like, we know that. We didn't have to have Batman say man out loud. Like, it was like every single thing was just, well, hey, audience, since you're too effing stupid to figure this out, we're just going to go ahead and tell you. I don't know. I feel like they just didn't trust us to get it. Too many filler shots. Way too many filler scenes. Again, there were so many scenes that just it didn't mesh well, you know? There was so much that could have been taken out. I think they just wanted to pad the runtime just to say that they could have a 3-hour long Batman movie. Like, you didn't have to have a 3-hour long Batman movie. A lot of it you could have taken out. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Batman literally saves nobody. Okay. Okay, not literally. He did save the random guy on the subway, but then random guy, this is weird. You've been the Batman for 2 years. 2 years, you've got the criminals scared of you, some of them. It seemed as though a lot of the criminals were terrified of him, but then you have this one group who acted like they didn't even know who Homeboy was. He comes rolling up in full-on Batman gear, and they're like, who are you supposed to be? Are you fucking, who am I supposed to be? I'm finna tell you. I'm finna tell you. I'm finna show you who I'm supposed to be. And it wasn't until it was too late for them before they realized, like, oh snap, that's the Batman. Like, duh. Ain't everybody else is on their P's and Q's. Why aren't you? And then, okay, so like everybody knows who the Batman is and everything, but then the dude that Batman saved from getting beat up, he was like, please don't hurt me. So you mean to tell me in the 2 years that you have been beating up criminals, you ain't saved not one person? You just now saving people? Or were you beating them up too? I don't know, which is why I wish that we had more of a backstory with this one. I know it sounds like I'm just shitting on this movie completely, but wait, I did like it. Just bear with me. Hold on. Okay, so he saved the random subway guy. He kind of saved the mayor a little bit, but she did get shot. She got shot. You didn't save her from getting shot. You didn't save none of the victims. And he did save Selena. He saved her when one of the Riddler minions was finna take her out. He did save her, but you had to give yourself a shot of adrenaline in order to save her. I get it. He was doing a lot and he was fighting a lot of people, and I get that. I understand that, okay? I get it. Linda, Lukey, I get it, okay? I do. I promise you I get it. But, you know, you're supposed to be the Batman. Like, I'm not saying be magical. I like the fact that he got beat up. We're going to get into that in a second. But let me just go ahead and say, I do like the fact that every time that they show him fighting, the bad guys, they got a couple of licks in. I like that. Don't show me some magical dude, you know what I'm saying, that never gets hit. No, Batman gets hit. The Batman get hit. You know what I'm saying? So like, and not just because you fell off of a roof because your equipment malfunctioned. Like you get hit by bad guys. I liked them showing that. So, but still, like, anyway, the kid at the church. He saved the kid at the funeral. He saved the kid. So you saved the kid, you saved Selena, you saved the random subway guy, and you kind of sort of saved the mayor. If the shooter had actually had a clearer shot or had been a better shot, you would not have saved her. So out of the entire movie, you saved 4 motherfucking people. And don't tell me at the end of it where he did the flash thing and came and led all those people out, they would have figured out how to get out. They weren't dead. They weren't dead. They weren't under any, like, you didn't lift that thing up to get everybody out. They could have gotten it. They did get out on their own. They just needed a light and somewhere to follow. That's all you did. That's all you did. So you saved 4 people in 3 hours. Riddler was giving you hint after hint after hint, clue after clue after clue. And you saved 4 people. The music. Oh, God. If I gotta hear that damn song one more time. I grew up with that music. Like, I'm not trying to hear that all the time. Like, that, they played the same damn song like 11 times. Like, I don't understand. Do you not have a better person to do the music? I'm gonna bring up Dark Knight. Okay, so in the Dark Knight, every time Joker was on screen, right, you would hear this score. It wasn't music. It was like an eerie, uneasy, like that weird. It made you feel uneasy, like you knew some shit was finna go down. You know what I mean? It would have been nice to have seen that happen with the Batman. Like, do it with him. Not an uneasy feeling, but like some sort of sound to make you feel a way. You know, you hear that when you're watching the Joker be the Joker and you're uneasy. You don't know which way it's going to go. It's going to go up, down, left, right. You do not know which way it's going to go. One minute he wants Batman to unmask himself. The next minute he's like, matter of fact, anybody that says who he is, I'm going to kill you. Like, I'm blowing up hospitals now. Like, no, I'm not. You don't know where he's going to go. You don't know, you don't know the backstory of his scars. And because he tells, every time he tells that story, it's different, but it says it so believably. Like, you don't know which way this dude's finna go. So, like, that uneasy.
Okay, so I was talking about this with my kid. I was going over, some of the things that I had said in here in this video. And listen, this is the perfect way to describe it. That sound that you hear whenever Joker is on screen, it's like a hiccup. You never know when it's coming. It's a hiccup.
You know, you can create some sort of sound to make the audience feel like, okay, uneasy footing. You know, a guy that's unsure of himself. Listen, I'm not a musician. I don't know, but I know movies, okay? And I would have liked to have seen something like that. Y'all want to try and copy off of Christopher Nolan so daggone bad, but you copycatting all the wrong parts. His voice. His voice. Batman is supposed to talk like this. This is how the Batman disguises his voice. You can't go around using your real voice. See, I'm just a lowly human. I can't do the Batman voice for too long. But you're supposed to go around and disguise your voice because you can't just have your voice like your regular voice. That would be like me walking around in a suit trying to be in disguise with just this voice. No, you may not know it's me, but it's not like I'm trying to disguise my voice very well. Anybody with some high-tech equipment would be able to take this voice and trace it back to Marissa J. You're supposed to have the Batman voice. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe they thought it was too campy, but Batman is campy. It's the campy, you know? I don't I didn't like it. And then there was something else that I didn't write down. I don't know. I'll probably think of it. I may or may not think of it. Okay, let's get into what I liked. Okay, that's why you here, right? All right, let's get into what I like. I like the fact that they had so many different characters in here, like that we know and that are good adaptations, right? Being introduced in one movie, right? So in Batman Begins, he was fighting low-level criminals. Falcone, Ra's al Ghul was the main. You know what I mean? So like, that was cool. In Dark Knight, it was Joker. In Dark Knight Rises, it was Bane. In this one, in the Batman, we've got Penguin, we've got Riddler, and we got Catwoman. I like that. And I liked Catwoman. I liked her style. I liked how she. Now this is again back to what I didn't like, the movie not trusting us. Why did you have to show her going into the apartment? Like, okay, she goes to the apartment to her friend. I don't know if they were too scared to say that they were in a lesbian relationship because it really seemed that way to me. But whatever. Because you know Catwoman's bisexual, right? So is Poison Ivy. Anyway, she goes to the apartment and she's comforting her girlfriend. She goes in the other room. She changes out of her. She takes her wig off. Okay, short hair. Okay, short hair. She changes her clothes, and there's a bunch of cats. Obviously, this is Catwoman. Obviously, this is Catwoman. You could have surprised us a little bit. They were talking about leaving. If we gotta leave tonight, we'll leave tonight. What you finna do with all of them cats, girl? You have a motorcycle. You don't even got a car. What you finna do with all of them cats? At the end of the movie, I think she had like maybe 2 of them in the little trunk part of the motorcycle. What you do with the rest of them? I have a thing for strays. You making them strays because you're abandoning them. Somebody call animal welfare. Because what is happening right now? The movie did not trust us to like to surprise us with the Catwoman. You just had to just give us all of these hints and signs that she was the Catwoman. The nails, all of that. Like, we knew she was Catwoman before you even before she should have been announced as Catwoman. You get me? So, but I like that she was in it. I liked her character. I liked the actor, how she did her up. I liked it. Riddler. The Riddler reminds me of James, like the Riddler. What is his name? I wrote it down. Paul Dano. Paul Dano reminds me of James Spader. I love James Spader. Ooh, I love that white man. I love me some James Spader. Ooh, I love me some James Spader. He reminds me of James Spader. Like a very young James Spader. I like that. I like that. I like that. That was cool. That was cool. I like that. The casting was decent. The casting was real. That was real decent. Um, this should have been in the I don't like. Okay, real quick. Real quick, one thing that I didn't like. With Thomas Wayne, when he went to Falcone to put the fear of God into the reporter, that was supposed to be some sort of redemption. Because he didn't go to Falcone and say, hey, kill this man. He went to Falcone and said, put the fear of God in him. You still went to a mob boss to have a reporter beat the fuck up. So what? It wasn't to protect his image. It was to protect the family. Protect him from what? If you've been in and out of mental institutions and you're trying to better the city, you could spend that. He wasn't. The wife was, Martha. But still, you could spend that. You could spend it to your benefit. But instead, you decided to have a reporter beat up. That doesn't redeem you, Thomas Wayne. You're still a bad person. You're still a bad man. You're bad. Oh, I didn't know that Falcone was gonna kill. Really? Really? You went to a mob boss, one that supposedly you're trying to put away or want off of the streets, but you went to him for help. Okay. You took the bullet up out his chest when he came to you. Bruce said, he said, what you think that means? He said, it means that my daddy took the Hippocratic Oath. That's what that means. That he was sworn to protect or to save anybody that was dying. You was dying, and so he saved you. That's all that meant. That's okay. That's what a doctor is supposed to do. But a politician is not supposed to go to mob bosses and ask for fucking favors. That doesn't redeem you. Also, Alfred taught Bruce how to fight. That would have been an interesting thing to put in the backstory. I would have liked to have seen that. Anyway. Back to what I did like. Um, oh, his realization that he needs to become more than just vengeance at the end. It was like, I gotta be something more than that. Because, like, these motherfuckers don't trust me. They don't even know who the hell I am for real. So, and when I say who I am for real, well, I'll get to that in a second. But he's like, these people don't even know me like that. So, I need to be more than just vengeance. I need to be something else. I need to be a symbol, right? So I like the fact that they came to that because I was like, you just go be mad the whole movie. In Batman Begins, Bruce Wayne he got over a lot of his anger when after he had left Asia or wherever he met Ra's al Ghul. You just gonna be mad the whole movie. Mm, okay. Oh, I love how they ended the Riddler and the Joker together. Them two laughing maniacally, cackling maniacally towards the end. I know it wasn't the ending shot, but it was the ending of them two. Uh, I like how they ended it like that. That was real dope. That was very dope. I like that. Just two crazy motherfuckers just laughing. I like that. Very Batman-esque, very DC. I like that. That I'm not a DC fan. Y'all know I'm more Marvel than I am DC. But the parts of DC that I do like, yeah, I like that. That was dope. That was dope. That was fun. That was fun. Oh, Catwoman was right. The city won't change and it probably will kill him. And I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the movies to prove Catwoman right. Because apparently, again, I've done no research. I don't like DC. It's not my thing, okay? This is something that my son convinced me to watch. But I guess there's going to be a new Robert Pattinson Batman coming out sometime soon within the next couple of years or so. So, I don't know. I'm excited to see Gotham tear him apart. I am. Because the way that this iteration was, like, you got everybody on the take. Everybody on the motherfucking take, bro. Okay, when they caught the penguin or whatever, not the penguin. Falcone? Yeah, when they caught up Falcone and it was like, yeah, not everybody be working for you. Okay. Okay, not everybody worked for him, but some of the people in that crowd definitely was just there to be like, yeah, no, I don't work for him either. I'm a good guy. They're all very, very corrupt. So with you only saving 4 people in 3 hours of a movie, how you think you finna save the whole? Anyway, I'm sorry. We're supposed to be in the what I like. I believe that this. Okay, let me be clear here. Christopher Nolan's Batman's. Okay, Christian Bale's Batman's. Okay, that's my favorite. My favorite Begins, Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises. Those are my favorites. I don't think I will ever like any other Batman movies more than those. Ever. Ever. Those were the best. However, I believe this was the best iteration of the Batman it himself as a dude. You know what I mean? The reason why I say that is because, yes, I know for a fact at the end, it's been a minute since I've seen it, but I know for a fact at the end of Batman Begins, Katie Holmes, uh, you know who I'm talking about, the gal, she was like, I was waiting for you to come back, and I was so happy that you was back, but now I see your mask, and he's like, what's she talking about? And she like, no, this is your mask. You are Batman. You never did come back to me. And that's when she said, when the city no longer needs Batman and they could be together or whatever. I know that for a fact. But this movie actually showed it. This Bruce Wayne had absolutely, positively no interest in being Bruce Wayne. Neither did Christian Bale's. He didn't. Remember, Alfred had to be the one to be like, bruh, you got to go outside. Okay, you have to go outside. You're a billionaire and you can't be a recluse. You're handsome, you're young, you have to be outside. Okay, so let's find what did he say? He said that they said that they were trying to find a reason as to why he always has, bruises and stuff all over him or whatever. But they never did find a reason. Like he was supposed polo, he was supposed to be learning polo or something. He was like, I'm not gonna learn no polo. And then they just gave up, trying to find an excuse as to why he's always gone and always covered in bruises. But they only touched on it a brief minute, and it didn't seem as though Christian Bale's Batman needed much convincing to be Bruce Wayne, right? We know that the Batman is who he is. Bruce Wayne is the mask. Like, if you've ever read a comic book in your life, you would know Bruce Wayne is the mask. Okay, he the mask. The bat, that's him. Like, that's the dude. That's ain't no what's behind the mask. This ain't no mask. This who I am. I'm the Batman's. I'm Batman. I am vengeance. Right? So, but this iteration really put that out there. They really capitalized on that. He was like, look, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about this money. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, spoiled little rich boy, because honey, if you didn't have all of this money, how would you have all your gadgets and whatnots? You wouldn't have all of that. So you should give a fuck. But this one really just didn't care. Like, he just really, really didn't care. He really, really, for real, him putting on a suit to go to that funeral, that way he did that begrudgingly. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. I like seeing Bruce Wayne, no, the Batman, put on the mask of Bruce Wayne and him feeling so uncomfortable with it. He was not comfortable at all. One thing. Okay, so oh man, I was gonna read. My son's at my mama's house, and so I was gonna read the text messages that that was going between us whenever I finally sat down and watched it. But I said, yo, that's the twins from Desperate Housewives. He was like, only you would catch that. But the twins, those were the twins from Desperate Housewives. Yes, it was. Okay, do you remember when Desperate Housewives was on and then they took a break for it was like a time jump 5 years later? Okay, the twins after the 5 years later, that's them. Yo, I'm so happy that they still finding work. But every time they was on screen, they got their asses up. I thought that was hilarious. Hilarious. Except for that one time whenever Bruce showed up. That was another thing too. I like to see the contrast of, how the cops viewed Batman. They were like, you a vigilante, we trying to lock you up, like, you're a freak, you're a weirdo, get out of here. But then they see Bruce and they're like, oh my God, that's Bruce Wayne. Batman bangs on the door of Falcone's spot. No, the Penguin spot. Twins open up the door. You do know who I am? Or no, wait, more like, do you know who I am? That soft, sultry voice. You know who I am? Yeah, you're the Batman. I want to see Penguin. You ain't getting in. Then he has to fight his way in. Bruce Wayne knocked on the door. Do you know who I am? Yeah, I know who you are. You're Bruce Wayne. I want to see Falcone. They let his ass in. Bruce gets respect. Batman kind of gets shit on in this film. Like, ain't nobody for real scared of him like that. So I don't know. Anything else? My son is actually on his way back over here. I got some other things to do today, but tomorrow we are finna go and see. I don't know. He wants me to see the Superman movie. and Fantastic Four. We were supposed to watch it this week. I got caught up doing a lot. He got caught up doing some stuff. At this point, we can only watch one movie. I don't know which one. I don't know if it's going to be Fantastic Four or if it's going to be the Superman movie, but we can only watch one of them this week. He wants me to watch Superman because Fantastic Four, I think he said because Superman has been out longer and he doesn't want me to have to wait until it's on streaming to watch it because it's just so good. He knows that I am not a fan of DC at all, but my son has very good taste in movies. Very good taste in movies. He introduced me to Whiplash. If you have not seen Whiplash, oh my God, that's one of my favorite movies. If you have not seen Whiplash, you need to go and see Whiplash right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, bro. I'm like, that's how I'm about to parent you, bro. No, I'm don't parent my kids that way. Anyway. He's got really good taste in movies. You should definitely go and check out Whiplash. He say that Superman is good. I mean, listen, when it comes to comic book anything, because he has such good taste in movies and in music, he thinks like, yeah, I'm gonna suggest this to mom and she's gonna be all for it. And it's like, no. You thought WandaVision was good. As a standalone, if it had absolutely nothing to do with the MCU, yeah, sure, WandaVision was great. But as the first thing that we supposed to see after Infinity War, this introduction to the multiverse, you thought that was good? You thought this belonged? You thought any of these TV shows and movies belonged? Let's talk about it for a second. No, because we will be here forever. We will be here forever. But honestly, if this is supposed to be the introduction to the multiverse, we still don't know what the multiverse is. We still don't know. We don't know. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and save this video, edit this video up, chop it up, toss it online. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If not today, then definitely over the weekend. I will have up on my Patreon reasons why I'm always gonna hate the Batman. You think you know why? Because of what's here? I haven't even scratched the surface into why I will always hate Bruce Wayne, the Batman. I will always and forever hate him. Alfred too. Alfred got it coming. Yeah, I got something to say about Alfred. I got something to say about Nolan's Alfred. Yeah, but I can't put it on here because listen, if you go look at the comments under my last video, okay? People love to just come and shit on my videos. So I know if I say this about Alfred, they gonna be coming for me. And not just the racists. It's gonna be everybody. Because Alfred is beloved. He's a beloved character. I get it. But he got it coming. Anyways, that's it for me, y'all. Like and subscribe or whatever. Join the Patreon. This is a lot to have to say. Why did I start this fucking Patreon, bro? Like and subscribe or whatever. Join the Patreon. Enjoy the outro. That's it for me, y'all. Bye.